National Arts Center Award recognizes work of an extraordinary nature by an artist in the past performance year. The recipient will receive from the NAC $25,000 award, not to be sniffed at, the commemorative medallion from the Royal Canadian Mint, and a specially commissioned work by extraordinary artist Paula Murray. This year, we are more than pleased to present the award to Albert Schultz. Albert Schultz est le directeur artistique fondateur de la Soul Pepper Theatre Company, la seule compagnie permanente de théâtre de répertoire en Amérique du Nord. Il est également directeur général du Young Center for the Performing Arts, centre de diffusion artistique, éducatif et communautaire, situé dans le quartier historique Distillery at Toronto. For Soul Pepper's 2013 performance season, remember this is an award for the last performance year. Hold your breath. He directed Tony Kushner's monumental two-part epic, Angels in America, to rave reviews. He starred as Norman in Alan Ayckbourn's comic trilogy, The Norman Conquests. Together, those two productions alone represent some 14 hours of live theater. An accomplished stage and screen actor, Mr. Schultz also directs the Soul Pepper Academy. It's a 2-year paid professional theater residency and the company's youth outreach and access initiatives. He's a busy guy, Your Excellency. Albert Schultz.
It looks easier from down there. Your Excellencies, fellow laureates, honored guests, mes beaux enfants, mon amour incroyable, dear friends, old friends, new friends. I'm going to tell you a story about a moment that happened almost exactly 10 years ago. I was standing on a makeshift platform in an elementary school gymnasium. It was at the Wikwemikong unceded reserve on Manitoulin Island. I was about to play Shakespeare's Hamlet, and over my head was a basketball net. Around me were many of my co-conspirators in this mad dream, Soul Pepper, who had come with us. We spent 2 weeks at the reserve in the schools and with the people of that community. And on this final day we performed Hamlet. And in front of us was an audience that changed our lives. Because this was not an audience that had come to see me play Hamlet. It was not an audience that had come to see a Soul Pepper production, nor had it come to see the great tragedy by the greatest of writers. This was a community that had come together to receive a story. And they were arranged in a way that I had never seen an audience arranged. There were very young people sitting at the front, and they had not come in family groups. They had probably arrived in family groups, but they were seated as a community according to age. We had elders sitting over there, including the spiritual leader of the Adawa band, whose name was Eddie King. The elders there, the young there, and at the back on their BMX bicycles were all the people between sort of 12 and 14. And they came and went as they wished. And they always seemed to come back right at the right time. They seemed to intuit when the story was going to get really interesting. The unfettered, eager, energetic listening of that community changed us as performers. And it made us realize, in the lightning of their reception of that story, made us realize and remember our elemental vocation, which is that we are storytellers. And that was very, very powerful, and it seems obvious, but sometimes we forget that. But telling that story to that community did that for us. I have a couple of other thoughts, and I wrote them down on this invitation. Almost there. At the end of this time together, Eddie King, who was the spiritual leader, pulled us together, and we had a circle, and he said at the end, he said, "You have all now become a part of my story, and I thank you for that privilege. And I am now a part of your story, and I thank you for that honor." And we lucky and happy few, stand up here as the ones that have stood here before and received this great honor, representing thousands who blazed a trail the very trail on which we arrived here today, thousands of Canadian storytellers. And there are many, many more whose passionate and necessary duty it will be to challenge and explode and expand and enrich our understanding of who we are as a nation. And in front of us lies a nation full of eyes and ears and hearts and minds ready to eagerly receive the stories we tell. And those stories will be sometimes spoken and sometimes sung, and sometimes, Annick, Louise, as Shakespeare, to paraphrase Shakespeare a little bit, they will be, what is it, Brent? What a piece of work is man, how noble in reason, how infinite in faculty, in form and moving, how express and admirable. Sometimes our stories, of course, are told expressly and admirably in form and movement of bodies and space. And however these stories are told, when they are received, they become more than the towers we build and more than the vaults we fill, and yes, even more than the games we win. These collective stories tell us who we are as a nation. And as I stand here now and I look out at you and I know the people that have stood here before, I am profoundly thankful, grateful, and humbled to be in the company of you people, and to know that today I am recognized as having a very small but important part, hopefully, in that national narrative continuum. And so I say with a big open heart to you today that you are all now part of my story, and I am now part of all of your stories. And I am deeply thankful for that privilege and this great honor. Thank you very much.